How many ordered pairs of integers x, y satisfy the equation x to the 2020th plus y squared equals 2y? So first I'm going to rearrange that equation. So I get x to the 2020th is equal to 2y minus y squared. And I can again, I want to simplify it a little more, factor out a y. So I get y times 2 minus y. So one thing, I'm dealing with integers here. And something I notice here is this number, x to the 2020th, it'll always be either positive or it'll equal 0. And over here, that number, if you plug in values, it's actually always going to be 0 except when y equals 0, 1, or 2. And you can test that out with integers to see that. So except when y equals 0, 1, or 2. So when y equals 0, that equation evaluates to 0, and same thing when y equals 2. When y equals 1, the equation evaluates to 1. So there actually aren't going to be that many options where we find solutions to this equation. So let's just consider the scenario when x is 0. The only case when x to the 2/20th is 0 is when x is equal to 0. So I do 0 to the 2/20th, and that the case is when the right side is going to be 0. First I'll do when y is 0. So 0 times 2 minus 0. So that checks out. The coordinates there are 0, 0. So another case, again, I'm going to do x is equal to 0 on the left side. And then I also know that when y is equal to 2, we'll get 0 on the right. So 2 times 2 minus 2, that checks out, and I get the coordinate 0, 2. So now let's consider the cases where the right-hand side of the equation is going to be equal to 1. So one such case where I can get the left-hand side to equal 1 is when I have x equal to 1. So 1 to the 2020th is going to equal to 1 times 2 minus y. That checks out. So I have 1, 1. Again, 1 is the only y value that's going to make that side of the equation evaluate to 1. But there's one more x value that's going to work. So if I do negative 1 to the 2020th, that's going to equal 1 times 2 minus 1. Sorry, this should be 2 minus 1. And so that is negative 1, 1. And these are the 4 solutions, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ordered pairs. So the answer is 4.